Hello, everyone. So, Cyberpunk 2077, we got episode 3 of the Night City Wire live stream series that they're doing. So, this just kind of shows a little bit of new things into the game. I'm not exactly certain what this one's going to show, but I loved watching episode 1 and 2 of this. So I wanted to do, now that I kind of have a proper setup to do so, wanted to do a little live stream and just watch and see what they're going to bring us in this episode. I just love learning more and more about this game. There's so much passion going into it. I love the soundtrack. It just looks like it's going to be unbelievable. So, yeah, without further ado, let's start this. And I'm just super excited for this. I love the music so much in it. They ask really good questions too for the developers.
To Night City Wire episode 3, the show from us at CD Projekt Red, where we talk about all things Cyberpunk 2077. In today's episode, we're going to start by taking you on a tour of Night City in a new gameplay video and have a chat with senior level designer Miles. Then we're going to introduce you to the gangs of Night City in another new gameplay video and have a chat with Matayush from our quest team. Then before we finish today's episode, we're going to give you a look at some of the incredible finalists in our PC case modding contest.
Cool.
And we have some information that PC players have been waiting to hear. So let's get started.
I hope that's the
It's time to
specs.
take you on a tour of Night City.
I mean, I just built my PC, so I'm hoping I'm good to go, but I love the synth that they play in this song right here. But I'm hoping what they're talking about there is the specs needed to run the game.
Oh my god, Juanita here. Today's news is Nova Max.
Hi there. New to Night City?
Mac and Jesus.
It's not so bad here.
How we feeling today? Cause I feel amazing.
The food, the Thai at 7 in Haywood, the pierogies down by the docks.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
I want to grab those right off the screen and just eat them. That looks so good. This game's gonna make me hungry playing it.
my business.
And this is your world news update.
I love how alive the city looks and feels. It's really atmospheric.
Endless possibilities and endless lies.
I love like the
We are
Blade
fucked,
Runner
America.
inspiration that they have in terms of like those big electronic billboards that are in the sky. Like just the living billboards.
Crime in Night City is now double the rate than in the new United States.
You want to be some kind of hero? That's a fight this city won't let you win. On your own, you're fucked.
Well, on that note, that's it for today's Info Flash. Sleep tight, Night City. The grass ain't greener anywhere else.
Night
What
City.
grass?
What does it mean to you? How well
Oh,
do
that
you
grass.
know its history? Who was Richard Knight? How many stations are in the NCART system? Which city district boasts the best burrito in town? The answers to these questions and more can be found at the
There's
address
so
at
much
the
to
bottom of
explore.
your
Like I
screen.
said, I just love
Check
how
it out
live
and
the city
fall in
feels.
love with Night City all over again.
It's so ambitious and huge scale. Like I feel like this is gonna kind of set a standard for like cities in open world games like this or to this caliber. They said they're gonna get into
Since
the
Night
map,
City is one of
so
our stars of this episode, there is actually quite a lot to talk about. So let's start at the beginning. How did Night City come to be? Because yes, it exists in the world of the tabletop.
I love his shirt.
How do you take that and make what we've got now?
Well, yeah, as you can imagine,
And I love that
making
chair
a city
too.
that is as big and complex as Night City is quite the ambitious project. First off, we sat down and we were really considering what is it that we wanted to do with Night City. In a way, Night City is the star of Cyberpunk, right? It is one of its main characters. We wanted to make a city that is very, very believable, right? I mean, the word immersion gets thrown around a lot, but really, we wanted you to be able to dive into it and feel like this is a real place. And then secondly, we also wanted to provide enough variety between districts so that exploring Night City would always be fun, right? There's no point in making a city that is all same-ish, and it doesn't really matter where you go, because once you've been through one district, you feel like you've been through all of them. So for that,
I wonder how
first
political
off,
hierarchy and just class hierarchy is going to change
geography that
the
Night
city
is located on,
district to
and that
district.
would be on the coast of California. Knowing that Night City would be a coastal city gave us a bit of insight into what we would expect from the city layout. You'd expect a port, you'd expect huge industrial areas that would facilitate this kind of trade that you would assume a city of this type would have with the world. And then we went through and actually divided the city into several districts, 6 of them, and some of them are based on the original lore. We decided to give their own characteristics in terms of architecture, their demographics, the kind of people that would live there, and also the function within the city. Each of these districts, in turn, we divided into further sub-districts, which we further characterized using the more grand theme of the larger district. This process, I think, has resulted in a city that feels quite alive, has a lot of character, where each district feels like its own distinct zone without feeling separated from the larger picture.
That makes me so happy. I love those flying
allows the
fishes.
player to easily navigate even the complex concrete jungles of Night City simply by looking around and always having a rough idea where you actually are.
But Night City is clearly so different from anything we've ever created with The Witcher. Can you give us some idea about, or some insight into just how big and how densely packed Night City really is?
Yes, so I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying that Night City is easily the most complex thing that I or the others have worked on. The city is super organic, right? It's not like a chessboard layout, but the layout of the city is crazy, and you can tell that it grew in phases, right? Where buildings have been built on top of each other, and I guess the mega buildings that we have showcased are a great example of this. You'll actually see that they are located on some kind of pillar, and then expand outside and then up high into the sky, and underneath it you'll have space for other buildings. This yields a lot of interesting experiences when it comes to exploration, and that's the one thing I'm most excited about for players to experience. We've been saying that our exploration is super vertical, right? But what this really means is that it changes the way you explore the city. Compared to our previous games, you won't be able to easily set out on a target in the distance, right? You won't be able to say, oh, there's a castle on a hill over there, I'll try to get there, and then you'll be lost in the way. But here it's much more intimate, much more moment to moment. You might be roaming the cities and get a call by your fixer who informs you about a job nearby that you might be able to do, right? Or
I like that a lot because it
find
gets
an
you more
alleyway.
immersed in
Walk
this,
down one of the
each
many
district.
alleyways that the city has to offer, and it's always a surprise. You don't know if you might stumble upon some gangers hanging out that are up to no good. Sometimes, and these are the moments that I often get surprised with, you even stumble upon the odd elevator that is meant to connect parts of the, different layers of the city. And it's quite astonishing sometimes to see where you come out when you enter one of these and, find that, oh, this is actually how it connects to the world. That's crazy. And now I'm here, and now I know there's a shortcut that I can take. And again, this all serves to really enhance this sense of wonder that we all come to love from open world games, and the whole city is built to cater to that.
I mean, you guys have really brought Night City to life, and I really want to make a point of that. It is a living, breathing city. So as a level designer, can you give us some insight into those little touches that you guys have made? Because I hear you guys have even been placing rubbish by hand.
Oh yes, we've been placing quite a bit of rubbish, and that's certainly one of the more glorious parts of being a level designer or an environment artist, where you get to litter the streets that you've spent time building with the garbage. But it's details such as this that we find really important to make the city feel alive, and also we take great pride in the process of making this, right? We have a lot of fun actually placing all of what we call mini stories, right? These are little encounters that you can
Oh, I like that a lot.
walk.
I wonder how many Easter eggs they've laid around at this game
huge
too.
quests, right? Side quests. We have
Probably
lots
just
of side
endless.
activities that you can do, but it always is nice to just kind of stop down for a minute and take a look at your surroundings that we have so lovingly created, and try to see if there maybe isn't something that you can be a little detective for. Now, one other thing that I think is really, really cool is also the fact that we have actually named every single street in the city. So
that's
not only
impressive.
will NPCs be able to communicate their locations or
that's really impressive.
to visit by sort of referring to the street names, but also you will be able to talk to your friends about it in that way, right? Have you been to Poplar Street in Japantown, for example? And I think this is a small detail, but the philosophy that we have with these kind of things is that, you know, many, many small things contribute to the sum of it, which is hopefully then you being able to explore a city that you feel is truly alive and that you haven't been experiencing before.
Well, Miles, thank you so much for giving us your insight. I suppose when the game launches, you could be an official Night City tour guide instead, right?
I might be, yeah. You know, if this game dev thing doesn't work out for me, I might retire and become a tour guide in Night City.
Don't forget that if you are tuning in late, or if you just want to watch anything again, we will be uploading everything to our channels soon. Now, from the 6th Street to the Valentinos, it's time to introduce you to the gangs of Night City.
Cool. I need this song right now in my life. Alright. I wonder if it's gonna be scarring me, like, Thieves Guilds,
Survive. But that's how
stuff like that.
You're either somebody, or you fizzle out into nothing.
Dead Sea ain't a city that lets you get by without buddies.
Be very careful, my friend. We are all so far from home.
Which gang's the city's biggest and baddest, according to the NCPD?
Scavs hold the body count title. Or Maelstrom, depending on the season. One time, a Maelstrom gang killed a young kid right in front of my eyes.
These guys don't even let human anymore.
Psychos. And who the fuck are you to say what can and can't be? I'm gonna introduce you to our meat grinder. About time we had some fun! Think Maelstrom never forget? Never!
These suits are scary. They look just really unpredictable.
Fuckers.
Just a gang like any other, right?
Take the Valentinos. They follow God and the Santa Madre. Honor means something to them.
How'd you meet Jackie?
We started out together.
In the Valentinos?
No, in the fucking Bible book club. I gotta give style points to the Valentinos. They have a punishment for every occasion.
Gangster life, puto!
I like how you actually have to, like, keep dodging their attacks.
Lately, the Valentinos
Their attacks look
on 6th Street
brutal
have
and
had a
so
bigger bone to
slick,
pick.
fluid.
Why'd they want to wipe you?
I can't fucking stand Tinos.
I've dealt with 6th Street before. We do the run, they'll transfer the cred.
Come on, let's go before 6th Street shows up.
They look like just a bunch of patriotic assholes.
Hate those bastards. Vomit lofty patriotic bullshit all day.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Bring on
Keanu agrees.
Any idea how many attacks from behind the Black Wall we neutralized? If the Voodoo Boys breach the Black Wall, we'll all be fucked.
Voodoo Boys. Urban myth, I thought.
Yeah, these are the ones that they showed off maybe about a year ago in one of the demos.
You know, I heard a few things about you. Voodoo Boys, best runners in town.
You do not steal.
These guys
from
seem
Voodoo
pretty
Boys.
cool.
I see you, always. For them, Pacifica's just Haiti 2.0. Their own island, cut off from the rest of the city.
This is our turf, our home. Until last week, the animals crawled in.
Animals are the craziest fucking gang in the city.
Breaker stop!
Just big muscle, jeez.
Animals aren't the play here, are they? They're hired muscle. Someone else needed them.
I fucked you over, you fucked the gang over. Somewhere at the start of the story, somebody fucked the corp. See how this works now? My husbands knew Westbrook very high in the tiger claws. They did what made the best eddies, sold sex and black.
I love how, like, even too in the background, the music changes so much between each of the gangs and districts you're in.
Ask questions.
Gotta do something. Shut the fuck up. The tigers will kill us.
It looks like too you can get different like weapons based off of which gang you go into.
People took matters into their own hands.
Folk went ballistic. Girls, pimps, outcasts, the whole freak show. It's how the Mox got started.
Like you're some kind of gangrene now,
Us Moxes have each other's back. We look out for one another.
You looking for some company tonight?
How'd you hook up with the Mox?
I thought Susie and the gang could really change something in this city.
Moxes and nomads don't seem so different. Both seem to yammer a lot about community, solidarity.
Yeah, I was gonna say they seem kind of cool.
About the Badlands.
Definitely about family, sisterhood, brotherhood.
Au contraire. This is an ecosystem. Nomads, Raft and Shiv, corporations, and drifters, they form a complete whole. Remove one part, the delicate balance topples.
Here in the Aldecaldos, it all stays in the family.
Classic dilemma. What comes first? Family or the outside world?
This family will go to hell and back.
Everyone in this city lives in their own bubble, and either you fly high or sink into quicksand.
Jeez. Can't get over how many gangs there are in this game.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Like I said, it just makes it feel
been
like a
really
living,
excited
breathing
to
city,
do
and all the
a lot of closer
characters
look
are
at
just
gangs.
truly
We've shown
alive.
a little bit on Twitter, but their styles are so distinct.
Yes, I enjoy them a lot as well in our game. I think they're very cool.
But let's start then with the kind of role that they play, because gangs really do play a prominent role in Night City, correct?
Yes, definitely. The gangs, they rule the streets of Night City. You know, they have the newest cyberware, they have the newest weaponry, and they're really a power that everyone needs to take into account when they are
like I was saying,
operating in Night City.
The
You
different
will encounter
weapons you
them
can
as
get,
you
just
explore
kind
the
of
city, of course,
looking
but
at
also
each of the
as you
different
complete
gangs.
Main quests, side quests, different jobs for the fixers.
It even looked like maybe vehicles too when they showed off
But then,
Tiger Claws, I think their name was.
Can you join a gang?
Well, V is a merc, and mercs of Night City are this unique, distinct group that stick mostly to themselves, right? And they get jobs from variety of factions. They can get jobs from corporations, they can get jobs from gangs, they can get jobs from different kind of like influential clients. Because of this, nobody will ever trust a merc to be one of them, right? And the gangs are no exception here. They are looking only for like people that they know will be loyal to them, right? And that they will fight for their cause all of the time, not just some of the times when it's profitable to them. So because of this, V will mostly stick to the Afterlife. And the Afterlife are this group of mercs, this legendary group of mercenaries in Night City. They get the best jobs, they get the most money, the best clients, and so on. So if you want to become a legend in Night City, you're going to the Afterlife.
So we've obviously mentioned distinct style then, so does that mean there are kind of special gang-themed weapons and items and clothing for players to find and use?
Yes, definitely. There are different vehicles that you can drive, for example. There are cars, there are motorbikes.
Oh, yeah, see that? Yeah, from that little clip there, I was wondering.
Pieces of clothing themed after gangs, there are weapons, and so on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely there are things to look forward to.
I suppose as somebody who's spent as much time as you have kind of getting to know the gangs, I have to ask, which is your favourite and why?
So I would have to say probably Maelstrom, simply because
He's the
they
first.
have this unique, distinct feel.
Yeah.
And this weird aesthetic about them.
It just seems so
idea about
predictable and
Maelstrom is
terrifying.
They are people who want to cross the boundary between the machine and human, right? They are changing so much of their body with cyberware that they no longer look human, really. On top of that, they're also very unpredictable. It's very difficult to say what they will do at any point when you meet them. At one moment, they can be shaking hands with you, and at the other moment, you know, they will pull gun out on you, and they bring in this element of chaos into the game, which I really enjoy, personally.
Oh, Matty, thank you so much for joining us. It's always interesting to learn what your favourite gang is. I think it kind of tells me a little bit about you.
Oh, does it? What does it say about me?
Well, we'll talk about that later. But for now, before we wrap up today's episode, we asked people to show us their creativity and design a PC case mod. cyberpunk style. Our panel of judges selected 5 finalists and we teamed them
Let's
up
see what
with
you got.
professional case modders to bring their concept to reality.
These 5 amazing designs will be fighting for the main prize, an Alienware Aurora PC along with other awesome gaming peripherals.
Nice.
Brought to you by our partners, Alienware, Nvidia, and SteelSeries.
I like those headphones a lot.
Let's see the mods.
Oh, that's really cool.
I absolutely loved this one.
The whole aesthetic works with each other.
Absolutely next level.
I like how he
Honestly,
branded that
not
with the
terrifying.
Voodoo Boys too. I think I like that red one the most. That's so cool. But
Exactly the
that
type of thing I
chair,
would expect to find at a
yeah,
trade
that's so
show.
cool.
It really looks like it could have come straight out of the game.
To watch the full PC case modding video and to get more information about when the winning design will be available on charity auction, stay tuned to our social media channels. Looking at those PC case mods, it reminds me that we do have one more thing to reveal. If you're
PC
going to be playing
specs.
Cyberpunk 2077 on PC when it launches this November, we do have some specs to share that I think some of you have been waiting for.
Alright.
The minimum system requirements for Cyberpunk are a Windows 7 or 10 PC, an Intel Core i5 3570K or AMD FX 8310, 8 gigs of RAM, and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 780 or an AMD Radeon RX 470.
We're way above minimum.
The game will take up roughly 70 gigs of space, and although it will
Okay.
run off a HDD, we do recommend an SSD.
So yeah, I was hearing rumors that
As
this
for
game
the
is going to be like
recommended
200
specs,
gigabytes
in
of
green, we're
storage.
rocking Windows 10, an Intel Core i7 4790 or AMD Ryzen 3.
Oh, I'm even way above the
3200G,
recommended. That's good to know.
12 gigs of RAM and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 or AMD Radeon R9 Fury.
Cool.
Thank you so much for joining us for episode 3 of Night City Wire. Don't forget that if you've missed anything or if you just want to watch again, we will be uploading everything to our channels shortly, and we will be back soon with episode 4.
Awesome. Wonder how soon. But yeah, no, November 19th cannot come soon enough. That made me happy. I'm talking about what's it called? Just all the gangs that they have in the city here. Oh, I wish I had. But just how alive the city feels is so impressive to me. The gangs are really, really cool, and just how you can get different weapons and clothing, like the smallest things, vehicles, weapons. That's just wicked to me. But yeah, no, I can't wait to see what more they can bring us with, or what more they can tease for us with all of these Night City Wires. I think there's supposed to be 5 episodes before launch, so I would say we'll get one in 2-3 weeks, and then same thing following afterwards. But oh my goodness, I'm so excited. But in the comments, let me guys know what you thought about this episode of Night City Wire and what you want to see next time, what you want to see more of, just what impressed you most about this one as well. And if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. You can also check out all of my other reaction videos, gaming videos, everything I do on this channel through my playlist down below. You can subscribe and turn the little ringer on if you want to know when I upload new videos. But awesome, guys. I just cannot wait for November 19th and it's just lose basically all of my time to this game, so super excited for it.